Hey everybody. Today is um May 30th and we actually have a new moon in Gemini today. So this is the particular card. It says communication is the key. The message behind this particular card says a successful relationship usually comes down to one thing, and that's communication. The new moon in Gemini card is all about starting of a new cycle for communicating with the person at the center of your question. Talking things through is the answer to whatever it is that you're asking about. If you can't talk to that person, you can journal about it to yourself. Emails, text messages, and another form of communication will also help you for now. If the issue you're asking about concerns a sibling or neighbor, there's a new start coming, a time to wipe the slate clean and start over. This card suggests that it can be too frivolous lately. This card suggests that things could be too frivolously lately and need to get grounded again. But most importantly, drawing this card emphasizes the need to communicate. Then attune to the moon messages. Write a list of the people you love most and see if you can prioritize them. The additional meaning behind this card means it's time to tell someone how you feel. Don't be all in your head and not in your heart. Someone is flirting with you, and read more books. The teaching behind this card says Gemini is the sign of communication and socializing, of ideals and travel, and the energy around this card, no matter when you pull it. The new moon is in Gemini is a wonderful time to get out and socialize. Geminis love to chat. One thing to be aware of that this card must also indicate that being mentally scattered. The one thing of this card is to be aware if you're being mentally scattered. Daily meditation will help unscramble cross wires in your brain. And it's so crazy because we're still in Mercury retrograde, which actually affects the line of communication. So if you've had any arguments or disagreements, or there's been lines of miscommunication with someone, or just the communication has not been clear, a lot of that basically has come along with Mercury retrograde. But now that we have a new moon this evening in Gemini, understanding that communication is the key. And that's with any relationship. It's always great to communicate, whether it's with your family, friends, loved ones, whatever the case may be. A lot of times people do a lot of nonverbal cues to communicate things instead of actually speaking with their mouth and speaking with their words or actions. So this is a great time to get into alignment and understanding that it's time to really speak our truth. No matter what it is, it's time to really speak our truth, not only to ourselves, but also to others and in our lives. So if you haven't completely been speaking exactly how you've been feeling, this is a great time to start doing it. I'm going to actually pull 3 cards from the Sacred Destiny Oracle deck to see what messages we get in regards to our new moon reading. Shuffle one more time. Two cards I want to jump out. Forgiveness, wisdom, and purification. The card on the bottom is to have courage. So forgiveness, wisdom, and purification. So definitely, these all have different lines of communication. Understanding that you're able to communicate in the most purest form that you possibly can is actually coming from the heart. This is a great time to really start unlocking your heart chakra. You can do that with some green aventurine, Reiki, holding your hand over your heart, and really open your heart up. When we have a pure heart, we have a heart for forgiveness. A lot of times people who have dark hearts or a heart of unforgiveness, there's no purification of their heart. There's no purity in there. It's all full of darkness, gunk. They tend to have horrible ways of communication. They tend to be very darkened when they speak and treat others. So a lot of this all aligns with each other. Also understanding that the key to wisdom is communication, because you have to have some type of communication, not only from the heart and mind. This is really Lincoln. You also have to have some type of communication and alignment with your heart and mind in order to really communicate what you're really doing. And you do that through use of wisdom and understanding. So those are the 3 card messages for that. I'm actually going to read what purification means in the message book. You know, it's so crazy because I was looking at sunflowers today and I was going to purchase some. Traditionally, rain symbolized rebirth and washing away one's sins. Water is also associated with emotions, and summer rain can represent the release of long-held emotions that allow for a purification and inner healing. There's also a renewal aspect of rain. The old saying, April showers bring May flowers. This means to follow the rain in time for renewing and blossoming. The sacred message behind this card is that it's difficult for new vibrant energy to enter into your life as clogged with old and outdated energy. Cleanse and purify your body and physical space. This is a great time for a detox, clutter, clearing, cleansing, and space clearing. Release outdated energy to invite fresh, clear energy into your life. Eat lightly. Don't take things personally. Release resentment, guilt, and blame. Purify yourself through thoughts, words, and deeds. Decluttering is the modern day alchemy. If you don't love it or use it, let it go. If you don't love it or use it, let it go. This card can also represent abundance, as flowing water is a metaphor for prosperity, and summer is a time for expansion. I definitely agree with all of those things in that card. Wisdom here says the depth of the sea, the surface of the sea can be choppy and turbulent, but when we sink down into the depths, our surroundings are completely different. Often there's stillness below. In other cases, the surface of the sea may be placid, yet down in the liquid blue are myriads of creatures and variety of seaweeds. A vast community of creatures is eating, mating, giving birth, and dying. What we see on the surface has little to do with what's going on below. The sacred landscape behind this card said things are not always what they seem. Look beneath the surface in your life. For example, you might feel that you aren't making progress in a particular project, yet beneath the surface, things are happening. One thing, or you might be going through a stormy cycle. This card is letting you know that even though the surface of your life may be a bit rocky and wobbly, it's a deeper place that is all is well, and serenity and peace is emerging. Things that may seem challenging will later be revealed to have been beneficial. And forgiveness. As the sun sinks behind the horizon, the red and oranges turns to lavenders and deep purples, ensuring night the day is complete. Sunset signifies a new cycle has begun. As each star emerges into the velvet sky, we enter a realm of dark unknown, where magic and even the mystery of life seems to shimmer above us. To be regretting that the day is done is to miss the glory of the starry heavens above. The sacred landscape behind this card says, it is human to want to hold on to the past, our memories, experiences, and relationships. However, there can be times when we can be carrying so much of the past that we can't fully see the present. The past doesn't need to equal the future. Just because you had a pattern or reoccurring challenge in the past does not mean that it needs to recur in the future. The key is to be willing and ready to cleanly let go of the hold that the past has on you. The past is gone, and it's okay to let it go. The way to do this is to fully immerse yourself in here and now. Be super aware of the sights, sounds, smells, textures, energies of your present. When you do this, the past simply vanishes and the glory of present emerges. I totally agree with that. 100%. All of these cards really are linked together. Especially with that forgiveness, purification. All of this really is relating to it. All of this has a lot to do with communication too. Even if you had issues in the past with certain people, this might be an opportunity, since we are still in Mercury retrograde, to rehash some of those past issues with individuals, to actually correct it so you can move out of this karmic cycle into the new cycle that we're approaching. I am going to pull a crystal card, and it's an Auralite and a golden healer and the eye of the storm. Interesting. The Auralite is a soul connector. It says the sedative effects of the mind, stilling its so profound healing and conscious connection with your soul that the universe, mind, and higher dimensions occur. Understanding, you are a multi-layered soul of a course of accelerated spiritual growth. You came to the earth to share your knowledge. You have the ability to move between different dimensions and to anchor a new vibration in the earth plane. The slowness and seeming impossibility of this task has been delusionment and discontent, but not despair. Raise your consciousness and others will follow. The healing behind this card says, aligning as above, so below, and without, so within, leads to higher sense of righteousness and immense well-being. This actually has alignment with your soul star and stellar gateways in your chakra. Its timing is in Aquarius. And the soul path behind this card is reconnection of ego, soul, and higher consciousness. The next one is the Golden Healer. Golden Healers are one of my favorites. I actually got one right here. Golden healers are imbued with powerful transformative healing energies. They're catalysts for profound spiritual activation. The understanding behind this card is the stone is the quantum. Understanding the quantum world helps you understand yourself. The everyday self is bounded by 5 senses, expanded by their 6 metaphysics. But there can be transcended into the field that is non-local, everywhere and nowhere at once, when there is no time. You create this event by being observed. Allow your soul rather than your ego to be your guide. The healing behind this card is healing flows through you. It is a process, not something you do. The chakra behind this is a solar star. It's a soul star and stellar gateway, and it aligns and cleanses all. It's good for all times of the year, and it's a channel for Christ consciousness. 48 is the eye of the storm. It's a pretty stone too. The eye of the storm is a safe haven for your soul, a calm center that no matter what upheavals may occur, a life support system during stressful times or serious illness. Hold onto it during challenges so that it keeps things in perspective. The understanding behind this card is you may be allowing the challenges and traumas of life to push you off center. Stress and pressure are major causes of your disease. You could be focusing too closely on one aspect of life to determine of others. Look at the wider picture. The healing insight behind this card says you can stay centered and calm no matter what storm rages around you. It aligns with all your chakras. And the soul path behind this card is walking safely through the storm. And then I'm going to pull 3 message cards for empaths. Remember your gifts. Restore yourself for the long time and honor your sensitivities. And the bottom says, makes peace with uncertainty. It may take a while to find clarity about a situation. Be patient. Know that invisible healing forces are at work during this phase. Honor your sensitivity says your sensitivities are a gift. Be proud of who you are. Put your hand over your heart inwardly and say, I embrace my loving heart. That's so crazy because I said to do that when you're healing your heart chakra. Restore yourself with alone time. Take a break from the busy world. Replenish yourself in stillness. Meditate, stretch, nap, garden. Do whatever quiet activities your spirit yearns for. And then you still got the water in the background and the moon. Remembering your gifts. Remember your gifts. Focus on your blessings rather than dwelling on adversity. Pause and give thanks for your gifts, such as your sensitivity. That was just cool. Health. Sensitivity, intuition, health, friendships, and family. Ooh. Thanks. And I'm being called to pull 3 love cards, so I'm going to pull 3 cards. And then I'm going to close this out. Heartbroken, abundance, and coffin. So heartbroken says deeply hurt, sad, separation, breakup, feeling lost, and grieving and mourning. Abundance means keep a positive mindset, manifest exactly what you want, and gratitude and bliss. And then coffin is endings bring new beginnings, growth, change, liberation, and transition. So these are for individuals that are actually going through a heartbreak at this time. This is a great time to, when you're dealing with heartbreak, this is the best time to worry about your bag. They always tell you, I ain't always in my feelings, but I'm in my bag, right? So this is a great time to really tap in to your abundance, your prosperity, the things that you have that that's going to keep your finances intact. You know, money doesn't buy happiness, but it sure buy a lot. And when you're working on your abundance and your financial blessings, you're going to actually start bringing in new beginnings. There's going to be additional growth. There's going to be liberation and expansion. I think one of the other cards were talking about expansion as well. Expansion as well. What's it? I think it was wisdom or purification. One of them, or even one of the other cards. I'm sorry. But when you're really, those new beginnings bring in expansion, growth, change, liberation, and causes transitions in our life. A lot of times, you know, we go through these different new beginnings in order to get to the things that God really truly has for us. And it's so funny because the bottom card says ascending, transcending obstacles, learning, expansion, new phase, preparing for union. So these are the messages for the cards today for your new moon in Gemini. So keep the lines of communication open. And even if you're not able to communicate with the person that you want to communicate with, this is a great time to communicate and speak with our divine, our God, our creator. Definitely explain to him and bombard heaven and tell him the things that you desire and you want. It'll definitely bring in the growth and expansion and you are desiring in your new cycle. I hope this message finds you well. Be blessed.